Hey everyone, Sean Taggy and zvbaddour, our VP of Growth here at Reading & Company. Today we're going to be talking about why would you want to hire a property management company? Why should you do it? Well, maybe some scenarios will be if you don't want to. What would be those cases? So let's dive on in, Zach. Why should we hire a property manager?
I think it's a solution for
Love
time, energy, stress. You're probably not a professional property manager. That's something that our company has dedicated ourselves to do a great job of it for 800 plus clients across 3,000 something properties. I'd say most of our owners live on the West Coast. The other 5% are in Australia, New Zealand, across 28 different countries. And we have a few here in Tennessee, not too many on our management portfolio, but it's very difficult to manage a portfolio or even a single property from that far away.
Right. Especially just 1 to 5, there's no real scale there.
Yeah, that's a lot of time and energy for one property 3,000 miles away.
Yeah. Yep, I love it. So yeah, I think if you should, I think you definitely should have very few amount of properties indoors because of all that. Also, I think if you're not local, if you are local, maybe you can pull it off and learn those ropes, especially if this is the industry you want to get into.
Mm-hmm.
And then thirdly, also why you should not, is just like, why waste your time on learning all these things when you can go be focusing on how to improve on your job or what you're currently at, what you're already good at, and improve on that. So,
absolutely. The learning curve to some of the things that our company has done, it's just such a steep learning curve, even though some of the things are simple, but doing it consistently right, 99% of the time, that's 3, 4, 5 years for one person.
Yeah, and I mean, even decades to master of just all the nuances and the 1% off tangent issues that could happen to your property. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. For special issues, whether it be maintenance, failing to do maintenance, the scare tactic. Some people might say you can end up in environmental court for your property. Let's say you live in Sunnyside, California. You have a property in Raleigh, Memphis, and you didn't know your property had mold. You can end up in environmental court, and you can have a quick 3-hour flight to Memphis.
And liability, and a lot of newbie owners don't have a very good decked out lease. We have all the legal team behind us.
Absolutely.
All of that and your exposure. Where if you're with a management company, that's actually kind of like a barrier. We actually kind of with the management agreement barrier some of that risk for you, and also our procedures help out with that.
Absolutely.
So big on that end, the legal stuff.
Yeah, kind of one of the first points I have written down here to mention is property checkups. Our guys are going by these houses because we have a strong presence in every neighborhood almost.
They're driving by them anyways, right?
Yeah, and on top of that is, you wouldn't believe it, but the neighbor always calls into the company and says, "Hey, did you realize there's a broken window at whatever house on whatever street?"
Right.
"Oh, we didn't know. Thank you for calling." And then we'll dispatch someone out there and, "Hey, boom." We took care of the issue, took care of the tenant, took care of whatever it is. And so I think having that immediate presence, doing the property checkups, your single property owner that doesn't have a management company, think about it. You have to coordinate, marketing your property, collecting a deposit on the property, underwriting the tenant before we get ahead of ourselves.
And also according to fair housing laws and knowing those laws, right?
Yeah,
complying with them.
You can get wrapped up in the government's web very quickly.
Yes.
And then doing the move-in, inspection, making sure the property is in condition X before the tenant occupies it with photos, with a checklist of some sort. Doing regular property checkups, like we mentioned, doing a mid-year inspection. Renewing the property, collecting the rent,
scheduling several different tradesmen to fix the property when needed.
Yeah, because think about it, if you're gonna manage your property yourself, you have to manage subcontractors or general contractors or whoever it is, and that's a job in itself.
And you just being one person don't really have the leverage of what we do, where we're like, hey, not only if you mess up on this job, you lose out on our next job, but you lose out on the next 500 jobs with us. The economies of scale that we have.
Yeah, that's
where if you're just one nilly-willy person, that if they were a bad contractor and predatory, they would definitely pick on the single person, right? Who just has one unit.
And that's actually why a lot of people have decided to hire us. They got taken advantage of. A personal friend actually from Miami, he reached out and said, "Hey Zach, I know you're in Memphis. You guys do management. Can you take care of me?" I had a subcontractor.
Dupe him.
Yeah,
from repairing it.
They got taken.
Yeah.
And we were able to fix the
Right.
property up, get it rented above what they were actually, and take care of it. It's just one of those things. It's unfortunate, but it does happen. So having a strong local presence, offering a lot of business to a lot of people,
Yep.
certainly gives you that priority on doing the work.
Yep. I love it.
And so leasing the property, like we said, collecting that security deposit, coordinating move-in, making sure they have access to the property, doing regular tenant checkups, whether it be maintenance, whatever they need, just taking a good look at your property, doing preventative maintenance for your HVAC, termite, all sorts of things like that.
Yeah, and if you're an owner, like, do you really want to do all those things? Like,
No.
What?
Oh, if I was a single owner, I didn't.
One pro, especially if you live miles away. First off, you probably wouldn't do all those things. You would just be like, I'm just gonna collect the rent, and if the tenant tells me something's needed, I'll do it. And so it's nice having us because we'll check all those things above and beyond and really do a lot of proactive work to prevent those big major issues from occurring.
Another thing I see relatively often is, well, I have a family member that lives 30 minutes away. Well, do you really want to inconvenience them?
Right.
I love my family, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I would want to coordinate subcontractors, coordinate a move-in, coordinate the lease, get in some sort of entanglement, having to be the middleman between this and that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something I do see. It's viable if it's the right situation.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I obviously biased here. I think hiring a management company, even if it's not us, is going to be a major stress remover.
Right.
It's going to make sure you're actually more successful for your investment.
And then also playing on that, do you really want to learn all of these laws? Do you really want to invest your knowledge into that? Where like you only have so much knowledge capacity. Why not invest the time, this time and all that? You might make more dollar per an hour, like managing yourself versus like in your own job. You might make way more in your own job than the money and the fees that you'll save and the expenses and all that.
Thinking about your real estate investment is going to cloud your headspace, and that A, for your job, and B,
what other opportunities come your way?
Yeah, what other opportunities, and spending that time with your family. You don't want your Saturday to be occupied by your investment property in Memphis.
Oh, hey,
you could be surfing in California with your family.
Think about that. You're in you're on a vacation with your family. Oh, dang! The toilet. There's a big leak in my property. Well, who am I going to call in Memphis? I've never tried out these plumbers over here.
You're getting on Google, looking up best plumber in Memphis, best
in the middle of the night. Because you got to get it done quickly. We're going to handle that. We have someone on call, always ready. Peace of mind is a big one.
Absolutely.
I like that a lot.
Yeah,
that's good. Then also just the stuff you don't know what you don't know. We ran into all the little nuances, all the little sub issues, like you mentioned, the mold issue. We've been to court, right? We know what it's like going through court, whether it's for an eviction or anything like that. And we have all the relationships with the people through the court system, and also the legal help with creating a solid lease, with screening tenants and all of that. It's just so much. There's no way you could possibly learn it all in a short period of time and do it as well.
We're able to use the law as a muscle.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You use the law and according to how it's written, and that's something that we do with a great attorney in Joe, Mike, and several others. We're able to handle things expeditiously when they unfortunately get to that breaking point, and we handle it quickly, and we get another tenant in there as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so those are why you should hire a property manager. I guess really kind of my answer is, I like what you mentioned. Number one, I think the peace of mind you're going to get. Number two, I really think your dollar per an hour, at least for most people, most cases, it's higher and better well spent learning something else in your industry that'll get you a raise, or just working more on your current job industry that you're doing. Mm-hmm. Then number three, the legalities and the safety net that you have from us. And then four, just the proactiveness that we have, that a management company has. Yeah. I think really the only reason I would think if you're going to do it, if you're local, if you have a lot of properties to where you can hire staff to kind of do it, mm-hmm. or if like this is really the industry you want to get into, would be kind of my only things is like why you would not want to hire a property manager.
Yeah,
in my suggestion.
All fair points. I agree.
Right.
I really do. I think you owe it to yourself if you're going to make an investment in a city that's far away. You want to hire the best. Like I would hire the best attorneys. I hire the best accountants. Right. I want to hire the best management company. Who's the best management company? I mean, I certainly think it's us. Other people do great in town, but I want to hire the best at whatever it is they do. Right. And let them do their job, and then we'll be successful. Yeah, and let your ego go. You're not the best property manager in town, especially if it's just your first or second time going at it. Hire the best. A guy once told me about
this was for me to actually encourage me to hire a CPA, because I was doing TurboTax, figuring it all out myself, learning all that, right, when you're trying to save a buck. But he said, you think it's expensive hiring a professional, try hiring an amateur. And sometimes that amateur is yourself.
Yeah.
So it really is the professional fees there. It's there for a reason. It really protects you. So that's my thoughts on it. Zach's thoughts on it.
I agree.
Yeah, man. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we'll be coming at you with lots of thoughts and advice and kind of our take and professional experience, and also the people behind us in this whole entire company and industry and building that we have. Thank you so much. See you next time.